What's up, Govee fam? Thanks for joining my channel today. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. I want to thank you so much for being with me on the journey in 2024 as we kick off 2025. Couple of quick housekeeping and we'll jump right into the splicing video, which I know is why you're here. I've got a newsletter that is linked in the description below that you can sign up for, and when you sign up for that, you're going to get entered into a celebration giveaway we're doing for 1,000 subscribers and whatnot. Is a free set of Govee perm tracks, and that can be a 100-foot set and can be either for pro or for outdoor 2 or elite. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm looking for distributors all across the country who want to up their Govee install game. We're going to have plenty of inventory this year and would love to help you make your Govee installs look beautiful. Also, I am looking for a signed sponsor. So, see this blank space we got going here? I would like a custom Govee sign for my business. Contact me in the DMs or through the email on jroinc.com. I would like to partner with the sign company so that we can have an awesome sign here, and you will be our official sign sponsor. So if you want, give me a contact. Love to speak with you. Without any further ado, let's dive in and continue where we left off from the holidays. Okay, now that our power is done, we want to determine how far from the wall of the home, the base of the home, are we going to mount the lights. 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches. This customer wanted kind of middle of the road, but we've got these recessed lights to worry about. So we're going to measure, or we're going to run our track right inside the recessed light line. You can see here that, like, what we don't want is we don't want to have to wrap wire around and up to continue this run over. We want our jump to go there and then up. So you got to do that in the attic. And often you can see right in there they've got some metal flashing. So often there's a gap there that you can just run your wire through on the upper. However, in this one we don't have that gap because they've got the metal flashing. So you can see you drill your hole right down in the farthest corner crevice that you can get there. And that's what we're going to bring our wire through. We're going to put silicone in there and then probably repaint it if need be. But that's where our wire is going to come out to continue our run. It's going to come out and go right into track and go up and over. And there's all kinds of architectural stuff. Like if you look, we're going there. Under here, you can see they've got a raised little ceiling here, all kinds of stuff. So it's important to look in the attic before you just start drilling holes and figure out what you're working with. So let's go. Now here's the attic. So when we drilled our hole straight through, it may be a little difficult to see, but it's right there. That's the upper hole. So then we measure, based on what we measured outside, we know we need to go about 3 or 4 inches down, and then we need roughly 6-ish, 4 or 6 inches this way. And so that's what I measured down and then over, and that's going to put us right in there. And you'll see it's not very far. It looks way far from the outside, but it's really not. So this right here goes right into the center, the center space in question. So that's where our hole is. So I use a smaller drill bit to drill the pilot hole just to be safe and careful. The rule of thumb is just use your measurement from the outside, because often when you come in here, this all looks totally different. And it's really abstract thinking to try to match this up, because you'll be surprised. You'll think you're in the right spot and you go to drill and you're not. You end up going right through the roof or down through the soffit. Here's what you got. Now you're going to cut those wires shorter, silicone the holes, put the track on the lower. You know, you're going to cover that hole and everything. You're going to do your splice, put it up in the soffit. It's nice and protected. Same thing here. You can see the upper and the lower with the same measurement. And we're going to do the same method that we did on these two. On that one up there. On that one there. On that one there. So we'll revisit the next step when we get there. Alright, so here we go. We're going to show you how I do splices. There's a lot of different methods, things that people use to do them. So one of the keys is, you know, not to damage the wires and to get your wires stripped at the right length, which is like this. So you strip this one, it's ready to go. And we take our Govee wire, and I've siliconed this, you know, when I left it overnight, so I'm gonna go ahead and just make a nice clean end so our wire's nice and clean. And then now we're going to strip these guys. And you don't want to take off too much if you don't have to. You can see I got my colors matched up here. So we're going to twist all these together. Now you can use solder butt connectors if you want. I've found trying to use a heat gun up on the ladder and all that is kind of a big pain. And so what I like to do is I like to kind of make a little X. So we've got a nice connection at the base like that. And so we started our base with our twist and twist all the way up. You know, trying to get as much wires tight together as possible. And then I use these. These are low voltage B connectors. I don't know if you can see in there, if it'll focus, but they're gel filled too, and they've got little teeth inside there, and they're made for low voltage. They're made for outdoor, you know, weather related use because they've got the gel filled in there. And then we're gonna put these on, and I like to twist them the same direction as the wire to keep the wire nice and tight down to the base there. We're going to do that for each of these. So those are nice and snug, and then you can use needle nose. I really like these guys. They got a nice little, you know, little teeth here on the end. But then you want to, these are called crimp connectors, so you want to give them a little crimp, nice and tight. It's going to get those teeth to bite down. And I usually give them a good two kind of closer to the base. You don't want to go all the way to the base though, because you'll crimp off the end and it'll damage the wire. You want it to just be nice and snug on the wire. And then you can test them by giving them a little tug, make sure they're nice and tight, not going anywhere. You of course could, you know, tape these up and heat shrink them and whatnot. Granted that the connectors are made for outdoors and they're going to be protected out of the weather, we don't typically do that. There you go.